top scorer, even though he only arrived on February the 1st. Where would they have been without him? Kenny Miller sure knows how to grab a Glasgow derby by the throat, having scored for both sides of the divide. It's only a second Old Firm game for Callum Murray. His first was a goalless draw, but he did manage to show 8 yellow cards in that one. Celtic's need is more urgent tonight, of course, but a victory for Rangers would top their season off rather nicely. The champions would like nothing better than to rub Celtic's noses right in it. 95 titles between them, over 200 trophies between them, and an awful lot of history between them. 33 Old Firm games as a player. It's Neil Lennon's first as a manager. Will it be his last? It's Walter Smith's 49th Old Firm game. As boss, he's only lost 11. These two colossal clubs are ready to continue a feud that has lasted 122 years, and it's got some legs in it yet. There may not be too much at stake tonight, but I think we can safely guarantee that it won't look like that, David.
I think we'll know within the first 5-10 minutes, Ian, just how much either side wants it this evening. Certainly from the Celtic players' point of view, they will feel, or certainly should feel, the other supporters want tonight. And if Rangers match that determination, this should be a right good watch.
Rangers champions of Scotland for the 53rd time. 11 more now than Celtic. Naylor, Keane. Fortune close by. Unsurprisingly, Keane has been taken out immediately, and also unsurprisingly, Kevin Thompson was involved.
Well, he certainly got there late, and we know that Kevin Thompson likes a tackle. He's a fraction out here. I think it looks worse than it actually was. And to be fair to Robbie Keane, he was up very quickly. He could have made a lot more of that. Always on the stretch there, Kevin Thompson. He's only a fraction out. And to be fair to Robbie Keane, on it, back on his feet immediately when he could have stayed down.
I seem to recall in the last Old Firm game, Kevin Thompson did exactly the same thing to Robbie Keane in the opening seconds.
I hope he wasn't expecting a quiet night tonight, Callum Murray.
It's Lee Naylor's free kick, hoisted high. Maurice Edu made contact. Wilson will settle for a throw. And they'll probably leave this for Hinkle. Celtic's last chance this season to win an Old Firm match. Fortune forcing Stevie Smith to concede a corner. Bright start from Celtic. And the goal here would certainly go down rather well with the majority inside Celtic Park. Naylor's corner, and it's a goal kick now.
Well, I think it came off Fortuny. A really awkward one for Alan McGregor, because he takes a big dip towards the front post. The goalkeeper totally committed, and he's lucky Fortuny got a little bit too much on it.
Well, Alan McGregor is struggling already, and this could be a concern.
Well, it's down to whether it's a knock, Ian, or whether he's twisted something. If he's twisted something here on the landing, then that could be bad news for Rangers even this early in the game. He decided he was coming for this really early on. He was going to come and try and get a fist in this, coming into a lot of traffic, and lands really awkwardly there.
Well, Rangers do have a very competent backup in Neil Alexander, who has actually played in the run-in during the last 2 seasons. McGregor is clearly struggling majorly. Peter Smith has spoken this season about Alexander, saying that he's been rather unfortunate not to see any more first-team action.
Well, this looks bad for Alan McGregor. I mean, there's clearly enough concern here within the Rangers medical staff to suggest that Alan McGregor's race is already run here.
Yeah, they've just signalled to the bench that it looks unlikely he will be able to continue, and Neil Alexander will be called upon. Actually, he made his SPL debut on this ground when McGregor was also injured a couple of years ago, in a game that Celtic won with an injury time goal from Jan Vennegoor of Hesseling.
Certainly down to the landing here. He landed really awkwardly. He comes against David Weir and takes all his weight on his knee on the way down.
McGregor's game is over, but Neil Alexander will be relishing taking part in another Old Firm game. Alexander played in some very big matches during the run-in last season and the season before, so this is not an occasion that he will be too overcome by. Not quite what he was expecting after 5 minutes, but Alexander is on for McGregor. A lengthy stoppage early on in this Old Firm contest. Alexander barely put a foot wrong during the run-ins in the last 2 seasons.
No, he's been very competent, you know, and he would have been a first choice at other clubs. He's unlucky that Alan McGregor clearly is rated that little bit higher by Walter Smith. But as you said, he's very capable, assured goalkeeper to rely on in this kind of circumstance.
He did play in the League Cup final win over St Mirren, and had a couple of games back in December when McGregor was out in the SPL, and played at the weekend as well. Naismith.
Well, he wanted up the outside there, Kenny Miller. Stephen Naismith picked the wrong side there. He was just wanting that fed into the channel there, Kenny Miller. Tried to get up the outside of Mark Wilson.
Fortune. Guemo. Diamanzi Camara. Naylor. Scott Brown sent off in the last Old Firm game after a clash with Kyle Lafferty. Aidan McGeady challenged by Neil Lennon to prove his worth tonight, and he's got a free kick.
Well, they tried to let it breathe there, the referee Callum Murray. Clearly had to bring it back here. Well late there, Stephen Naismith, and this is certainly within range. It's a nice angle too for Lee Naylor, certainly for a left-footed player to wrap the inside of his foot around this. An early test here for Neil Alexander.
Yes, Alexander pitched straight into the thick of it in the Glasgow derby. Naylor's gone for it, and it's took a little nick on the way, I think. Celtic make a storming start as they look to regain some pride.
Well, just done by the slightest deflection. I think it's David Weir that comes off. But there is enough pace in the ball that when it glances off him, it totally wrong-foots Neil Alexander. I think it is David Weir. Fortuny is right in front of him. But I think it's the Rangers skipper. I think it clips the inside of his left heel. And there is sufficient pace in the ball to leave Alexander absolutely helpless.
It's a perfect start for Neil Lennon in his first Old Firm game as a manager. He's hoping it's not his last. He's hoping he'll be back for more of them next season. We shall see. Lee Naylor will probably claim only his third Celtic goal, but the deflection, however slight it was, left Alexander helpless. The first cut is usually the deepest in Old Firm games as well. Only once in the last 60-odd meetings in the league between these sides has the team scoring first lost. Ironically, that was when Chris Sutter netted after 19 seconds in 2002, the fastest Old Firm goal ever. Rangers have lost their keeper, McGregor, and they've lost a goal. No foul by Weir. Davis takes over. Collett leaves it for Neil Alexander.
What a start for the substitute goalkeeper. Coming on cold into this fixture is hard enough. Gets totally done by the deflection.
Edu. Robbie Keane was hounding Edu then. Celtic fans haven't exactly been turning up in numbers at recent games here, but the team has got the fans back on their side for this one. Naylor, an unlikely scorer, albeit aided by that diversion. Hinkle. Kenny Miller. Lafferty! Nearly.
Terrific ball in from Kenny Miller. And a very good run from Lafferty, but Darren O'Dea absolutely watertight front post. Exactly where he should be. Just applying the squeeze here on Lafferty, who by the time he gets to contact is slightly outside the front post, and he's got a lot to do to open his foot and get that on target.
Boris wants a new ball. Last time Celtic went through a season without winning an Old Firm game was a decade ago when John Barnes and then Kenny Dalglish were in charge. It hurts when that happens. Celtic, though, have gone about their business in the right ways so far.
I think the irony about the goal is I don't think Lee Naylor catches this the way he wanted, and I think he's trying to get some elevation there and gets practically nothing. David Weir's totally preoccupied by Fortuny in front of him. He knows nothing about that. And Neil Alexander just on the pitch. What a start for him.
Much as Naylor will try and claim that, it's really an own goal. Rangers in each other's way. McCulloch stops Fortuny in his tracks. Offside against Camera.
Well, just as well for Lee McCulloch. Winning the ball, he doesn't really get it safe here. Lee McCulloch straight to Aidan McGeady. Well, I'll tell you what, that's marginal. Stevie Smith, deepest for Rangers.
Naylor. Camera. Nguemo. Fortuny. Trying to force it through to McGeady and did so. Let's get some news on Alan McGregor from our man on the touchline, David Tanner.
Ian, I can tell you that Alan McGregor is an angry and frustrated man at being injured again at Celtic Park. Originally an ambulance was put on standby Well, his twisted knee is not deemed serious enough for hospital treatment, but he does have a badly twisted knee.
Rangers have a free kick. Stevie Smith. The Rangers responded quickly when they fell behind here in the New Year derby. Scott McDonald scored rather later in the game for Celtic, and Lee McCulloch quickly levelled it. Smith's cross, away by O'D. Keane loses out to McCulloch. David Weir, Thompson, Edu, Stephen Whittaker, Lafferty. Darren O'D was sticking close to him. Stumble from Fortune, rather unfortunate. Whittaker, Miller, Davis. Davis again. Whittaker again. Didn't hang around. O'D helping it on. David Weir. Rescued by Naismith. Now Lafferty. Steps inside Wilson.
Good tackle from McGeady. Terrific little spin there from Kyle Lafferty to get goal side of Mark Wilson, and good cover from Aidan McGeady.
It's the usual 100 miles per hour start.
Yeah, it's no friendly, is it? That's for sure.
In fact, 100 miles per hour might be underestimating it.
Took a chance there, Stephen Whittaker. He took a big chance taking Cameron on in that position.
Rangers unbeaten in the last 5 league meetings between these Glasgow rivals, but Celtic did beat them in the League Cup final last season.
Rangers edging it in terms of possession, but still got to find their range in the last third of the pitch.
Andreas Hinkle stoked it up as if it needed it in the build-up to this game by claiming that Celtic were a better team than Rangers. Strange thing to say when you're so far behind them. Smith, straight to Nguemo. Camara, who has added much-needed quality to Celtic. Davis, the PFA Player of the Year, and the Rangers Player of the Year. Miller.
Well, again, it's a good week from Mark Wilson, because Lafferty's always going to make that little diagonal. The minute Kenny Miller turns inside here, Lafferty is always going to make that run from in to out, and it's well read by Mark Wilson.
Foul by Scott Brown on Naismith. Weir hasn't missed a single minute in the SPL this season. It's his 50th game overall of the campaign. Lafferty looking to link up with Miller, but it's away by Wilson.
Good knockdown from Lafferty into a really good area there.
Davis delivers, but it's screened by Brown. Whittaker and Davis together. Away by Wilson. Foul by Edu on Nguemo.
Yeah, he's wrong side there. Just can't get there, Edu, without leaning into Fortuny.
Whereas Edu settled the last meeting in Ibrox in February with a 93rd minute winner. Walter Smith, a veteran of these occasions. 26 Old Firm victories, same as Jock Stein. Brown. Thompson lunging in on McGeady, and there's going to be a yellow card early on for Kevin Thompson.
Well, there's no real contact here, but it's a follow-through from Kevin Thompson that was dangerous. Callum Murray had no hesitation. He already put his marker down earlier, Kevin Thompson.
Treading carefully.
Well, there's been a lot of contact. Aidan McGeady's okay, he's fine. But obviously Callum Murray feels this is the type of tackle that endangers the opponent. And he is high and he is late there, Kevin Thompson.
I think he could have pretty much banked on a yellow card coming his way at some point. But it's come inside the first 20 minutes, and that'll be a concern for him. Naylor's free kick, away by Whittaker. McGeady. Robbie Keane. Stevie Smith having none of it. In for the suspended Sasa Papac. McGeady. And Davis might just be onto that. Guemo wins it back and wins it well. Oh, and it's going to be another card, is it, surely, for Lee McCulloch?
Well, it's a needless one for me. It's not quite a nothing area of the pitch, but it's an area in which Celtic can't really hurt Rangers here. McCulloch's goal side is well placed. And that leaves him with, what, 70 minutes in which he can't afford to miss time another one.
Lee McCulloch, the most booked player in the SPL this season. That's his 15th yellow card. He was saying the other week that he only thought that 4 of them were justified. I don't think the referee's got that many wrong somehow. Camera! And intercepted by Whittaker.
Rangers go to sleep at the free kick. Celtic take it quickly, get down the outside. Nobody broke from that two-man wall there.
Camera again. Stumble from Whittaker. Lee McCulloch has to pop it behind. Celtic right up for it, but then they just had to be after the season they've had. Camera's corner. Stephen Davis met it. Naylor ready to return it. David Weir there that time. McCulloch.
Not surprisingly, it's Kyle Lafferty that he's looking for there, and the one thing that Lafferty does give Rangers, he gives him a good outball. He gives him a diagonal from either fullback, and if this boy is going to be a Rangers player, it's going to be as a centre forward, I think.
Celtic did come into this game on the back of 6 straight wins in the SPL, but they lost their most crucial match in the Scottish Cup to Ross County. And this very decent recent run in the league has come too late. Smith pondering on the event so far, and the news on Alan McGregor is that they hope it's just a strain, but fear it could be medial ligament damage.
Well, the only consolation is the timing. The title's already in the bag, and he has all summer. If he requires surgery, I'm sure that will be done immediately, and it gives him a lot of recuperation time over the summer.
With another match for you tomorrow, Motherwell and Hibs chasing a Europa League place. That's from 7:30 on Sky Sports HD 3 and 3. And Saturday, a potential showdown between two teams fighting for survival. Kilmarnock and Falkirk from noon. Robbie Keane, away by McCulloch. Scott Brown. In call for Nguemo. Camera. It's a corner.
Oh, certainly didn't look like a corner from here. And Steve Davis pursuing Callum Murray all the way there to the byline. And I think Diamante, Camera himself, looked surprised. Let's try and clear it up. Oh, I can see Stephen Davis's case.
I'm not sure the officials really knew. They had to make a decision one way or another. Naylor into the thick of it. Alexander not really away. Keane, OD, Nguemo, and it's been diverted for another corner.
No real conviction about Neil Alexander as the corner comes in. It's Fortuny who backs into him, and he gets very little of his gloves onto that. And eventually it's Edu who comes off. And a right good spell in this game for Celtic right now.
Adam Murray just keeping an eye on Fortuny and everyone else. Naylor into a similar place. This time though the free kick is given.
Well, he starts a couple of yards off the Rangers goalkeeper, and Fortuny just backs in at the last moment. He's trying to make it as awkward as possible for the Rangers keeper to either come and get a fist on it or take it into his gloves.
Here comes one, Fortuny, £3.8 million he cost. Not a prolific goal scorer. And for 3.8 million in Scotland, you'd probably want him to be. Weir. Hinkle. Thompson. Miller. Naismith. Thompson again. Corner for Rangers. Can the champions respond here? Thompson getting plenty of stick as he trudges into that corner. Thompson delivers. Made by Brown. And again.
I'm surprised that Celtic are allowing Lee McCulloch a run at that. Celtic marking zones there at the corner. And it's allowing Lee McCulloch to get a clean run at it and a clean jump at it as well.
Keane. Quite quiet so far. Naylor for Fortuny, trapped by Davis. And Davis secures a goal kick. So there's the Rangers fans' choice as Player of the Year, and the Rangers players' choice, and all the players' choice, the PFA award.
Yeah, well deserved, and you know, I think if you consider basically he's playing out of position, I'm sure he'd much rather play one in. But not quite happy to sacrifice himself for the team effort, and does a very decent job wide right.
Celtic leading through Lee Naylor's free kick, which took a deflection off the Rangers captain David Weir. Edu. Neil Lennon sent off in all firm matches twice, and his assistant Johan Marby also got a red card when he played in them. Here's McGeady, no takers.
Well, Robbie Keane wants it pulled back, but I can see why Aidan McGeady delayed there, because when he broke beyond Stephen Whittaker, there was nobody in the 18-yard box for him to pick out.
fancy camera. This should be his kind of stage, but it often hasn't been. McCulloch. Scott Brown! Blocked by McCulloch.
It all came from a slack front post header from Lee McCulloch there. Should have dealt with that. And didn't get it safe.
McGeady. Whittaker sold himself, but McCulloch is there to clear it. I'm sure there will be the usual speculation in the summer about Aidan McGeady's future. Keane. Corner.
It's a good tackle from Stephen Whittaker. Celtic certainly starting to boss this.
Half an hour played at Celtic Park. Naylor going shortish to McGeady. That came off McGeady.
Yeah, no surprise in that possession start, certainly. Rangers had more of the ball early on, but Celtic have certainly found the range of passing here.
Brown. Mark Wilson. They've already gone behind for a goal kick.
It's a neither nor ball from Mark Wilson. It's wrong side of Fortuny. I mean, McGeady just been asked to do a little bit too much here, and hard to see whether that was already over the line, but it certainly came off Steve Davis.
The first time in 7 years that Celtic have gone through a season without any, so painful that. Kyle Lafferty involved.
He's getting very little decent service, Kyle Lafferty. Anything that has been knocked up really short.
Wilson hoisting it towards Fortuny. McGeady. Goal kick.
Well, he feels he was nudged, and I think Stephen Whittaker is clever here. Does he lean in here? It's at the vital moment, a little bit of pressure. Not enough that the referee can spot much.
Content with his team's performance so far.
Well, Kenny McDowell on the touchline, very unhappy, feels that Stephen A. Smith was caught by an elbow there, Cameron's elbow.
They do. Lafferty. Smith. Fortuny. It's a foul by David Weir.
No, it's not going in his pocket, Callum Murray. Maybe to David Weir's surprise, just mistimes this as he comes across David Weir. Fortuny's okay, he's back in his feet. And David Weir lucky that Callum Murray didn't go to his pocket.
on the ground then. Darren O'Dea. Closest to him.
Well, this is where it gets difficult for referees, particularly for a side who are man marking here like Rangers. There's so much going on off the ball here. Players matching up all over that 18-yard box. Darren O'Dea. Oh, very little in that for me.
It's all part of the fun, really. Here it comes. Lee Naylor's free kick is collected by Alexander. Smith, Hinkle. Fortune fending off McCulloch. Edu. Lafferty is going to run into Hinkle. Smith. McCulloch. Up against his close pal Brown there. Lafferty. McGiddy's pitched that. Robbie Keane calling for it. Terrific tackle from Thompson.
Yeah, it certainly was. Robbie Keane wanted it earlier and should have had it earlier from Aidan McGiddy.
Davies with Whittaker assisting. Guemo. Edu slid in. Not much room to breathe out there. Smith up towards Lafferty. Stephen Naismith. Hinkle presented it to Edu. Thompson. Naismith. Edu. Davis. Lafferty. Easily taken by Boruc, who's given a little bump by Naismith. No need really for Boruc to react, but he is.
Yeah, he's just got to give it up. It's happened, it's over. Stephen Naismith knowing exactly what he was doing there.
Sent tumbling then by Fortune. David Weir yet to decide whether he'll play on for another season. 40 next Monday. Calmly hits it back to Boruc.
Yeah, did really well, had to get it spot on. Getting Lafferty in the thick of it as Rangers went back to front.
Robbie Keane.
Well, Rangers duggout certainly weren't happy with this challenge here from Diamanti Camara, and he clearly catches Stephen Naismith. Malice was in it, only he would know.
Fortune shrugged off McCulloch. Camera. Guemo. He's fit. Robbie Keane, and Stevie Smith is the saviour for Rangers.
Well, otherwise Robbie Keane's pulling the trigger and there's a good chance he's scoring. Terrific cover from the fullback. Had enough recovery pace to get in there and narrow that and just squeeze Robbie Keane out. Robbie Keane thinks he's getting a shot away here.
Another corner though, and some of these from Lee Naylor have been rather uncomfortable for Rangers. Naylor right in there again. Edu has to scramble it away. Some decent deliveries so far this evening from Lee Naylor, who had such a terrific first season at Celtic. Never quite lived up to that campaign afterwards. Here he is again. Seeking out Keane, but that's a little bit hopeful.
I think he might have been offside in any case, Ian, but it's hard for Stephen Whittaker to watch both the ball and Robbie Keane when he makes that run from out to in.
Hinkle. Weir for Smith. Naismith. Lafferty, and Naismith was shot off by Hinkle.
I don't think it's needless because Mark Wilson is stepping onto that. He's providing the cover. Obviously didn't get a call there from his centre-back.
Five minutes left in this feisty first half. Smith. And McCulloch charging in. Rangers have only been beaten twice in the SPL this season, away at Aberdeen and away at St Johnstone. Smith for Naismith. Davis ahead of him. Still Davis. Lafferty flat-footed.
Yeah, just caught on his heels there. Wasn't quite sure what Steve Davis was going to do there, the striker. I think Kyle Lafferty is expecting this to be knocked into his feet. Steve Davis thinks he's going to peel off into the channel.
Northern Ireland international teammates. Smith has been out of contract since January, but there is talk of a takeover soon from the property developer Andrew Ellis, and there's talk also of a new 3-year contract for the Rangers management team. Lafferty. Celtic's throw. Lafferty doth protest. Guemo. Offside, Robbie Keane.
Well, he wanted a longer ball there, Robbie Keane, because he fancies himself against David Weir if it comes to a race.
Smith. Lafferty. Kenny Miller. Bit to do yet. And Boritz bravely spreads himself and was hurt in the process.
Really good save there from Boritz, who had to be out quickly.
Naismith coming back for more. Kenny Miller snuffed out brilliantly by Mark Wilson.
It's time in the match that the two Rangers strikers have really combined together.
Kevin Thompson. Stephen Davis. Whittaker calling for it and receiving it. Kenny Miller! You can always rely on him on Derby Day in Glasgow. Oh yes you can. Perfect cross from Whittaker. Cracking header from Miller. The champions level.
Well, I've got to say Mark Wilson has had a terrific 42 minutes up until now. But he just loses Kenny Miller here. Kenny Miller on his way already. Mark Wilson caught under the ball. And Kenny Miller still had a lot to do. He has to get so much of his neck into that. And Atterbury's possibly expecting this to go back across him. And Miller does him near post. Terrific header.
Kenny Miller has now scored 5 times for Rangers against Celtic, and of course he once scored for Celtic against Rangers. never far from the score sheet in these Old Firm games. And a bitter blow for Celtic just before half-time. Because of that early injury to Alan McGregor, we're bound to get a few minutes added on here in this first half. Camera skirted the challenge from Whittaker. Scott Brown moves away from Miller. Approaching the 45 minutes, but a few minutes to be added on. Naylor's cross. Fortuné! And it's slipped past Alexander! And Celtic are back in front in a pulsating Old Firm encounter.
Well, a bit like the Kenny Miller header, he had so much to do. And he bullies Stevie Smith at the back post. He makes sure he's off the ground first. He makes sure he's above the Rangers fullback. And Neil Alexander, well, just slipped through his legs there. He had so little time to react to the Rangers goalkeeper. I don't think you can blame him. I don't think you can finger him for that. But Fortuné made this his. Physical presence just a little bit too much for Stevie Smith at the back post. And Celtic look as if they're going to go in with the lead at half-time.
Well, he had a goal disallowed, harshly Celtic thought, in the New Year derby, but that one counts. That one really counts. Oh, a mistake here from Odino. It's Maurice Edu. Davis.
Well, it's a chance. It's a tight angle, but it's a chance. And huge relief for Darren O'Dea. Not quite sure what he's doing here, trying to chest this back. He really should be getting rid there. Rosed would have done nicely. Forward one for Steve Davis on the half volley from this angle. A half chance nevertheless.
There is 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Rangers not level for long. An action-packed end to the first half. An incident-packed evening. Fortuné. No foul, one fair and square by Thompson, and Camara tried to trip Edu, and he is going to be pulled back for that. There's going to be a yellow card coming out for Camara.
Some good body strength by Fortuné here. He's looking for a free kick here. Possibly should have had one, as Kevin Thompson wins it for Rangers. That's certainly worthy of a yellow card there, the challenge from Diamanti Camara. Alan Murray, I think, quite happily blow for half-time here. It's starting to boil over a little bit.
Naismith won that. Smith. Another epic encounter between the Glasgow Giants is certainly brewing. Handball against Edu. It's half-time. Celtic in front. Lee Naylor's free kick diverted in by David Weir past Neil Alexander, who came on to the injured Alan McGregor. Kenny Miller came up with a familiar Old Firm goal to level it, but they were not level for long as Marc-Antoine Fortuné responded quickly. What a shame we've got to stop for 15 minutes. It was just getting good. Half-time, Celtic 2, Rangers 1.
It sure is. Well, if you thought there was nothing to play for, it's the second half coming up. It's 2-1 Celtic. Let's rejoin Davey and Ian.
Yep, are you ready for more? Let's hope they carry on from where they left off at the end of the first half. There is every chance. Celtic twice in front. A customary all-firm goal in between for Kenny Miller. And we've been waiting for Kyle Lafferty to join us. Celtic were kept waiting for a while, in fact, by Rangers. But it's the champions who start the second half on enemy territory. Naylor. McCulloch, who is one of the players on a yellow card, Kevin Thompson, the other for Rangers, and Diamanti Camara for Celtic. And you do get the feeling there's a red card coming along at some point.
Yeah, I'm not surprised Mr. Nicholas made that forecast. He didn't know enough about this game to appreciate how feisty it might be in this second half. Last time they're going to see each other for a while, although there is talk about a friendly in Boston.
Yes, I hope Boston realises what they're heading themselves in for, as Stevie Smith needlessly boots that away for a corner.
Well, Neil Alexander obviously gave him a shout here that he had time. Whether or not Stevie Smith heard him, I don't know. And perhaps in this atmosphere he didn't. But he dealt with it, he got rid, no harm done.
Alexander hasn't been entirely convincing from some of Lee Naylor's deliveries. Naylor tries again. McGeady loses out to Kenny Miller. It will be a free kick for Miller.
Well, he did well. I mean, this is Kenny Miller at his very best here. He takes Rangers 70 yards up the pitch here. Takes all the pressure off him. 1 minute they're defending a corner, the next minute they've got a chance of putting the ball in the box, and that's thanks to Kenny Miller.
Jubilant at equalising for Rangers, but Celtic soon cut these celebrations short. Kevin Thompson takes it, flicked on by David Weir. Stephen Davis. Smith flicked that on. Naylor will roll it back to Boritz. Offside against Robbie Keane.
Oh, I reckon he was elbowed there. See, Robbie Keane, when the ball's in the air, one thing in his mind, to get between Whittaker and the ball here. They're both at it.
Davis. Thompson. Here's Whittaker. Heading nowhere fast though. Nguemo. Now Keane. Scott Brown. Andrew Nguemo. Trapped by Naismith. David Weir. Darren O'Dea in front of Kenny Miller.
One thing that's noticeable for me about Celtic's midfield tonight, Ian, is the role of Scott Brown. He's played with much more discipline, he's sat with the game in front of him, and I think given that Celtic have two wide players who like to play well up the pitch, it's important that Brown doesn't go ahead of the game too much and empty that midfield, leaving Nguemo open to the Rangers counter-attack. He's quite happy at times. We've seen him play the role for Scotland where he sits with the game in front of him, and he's more than capable of doing that.
Keane, Nguemo. Naylor now for Aidan McGeady. Always capable of a flash of inspiration. Fortune for Naylor. Davis gets stuck in. Everyone's got stuck in today. That's what you have to do. camera. Just the wrong side of Keane. Off the heels of Lafferty, who was caught late by Scott Brown, and that's going to be a yellow card for the Celtic captain.
Well, here I say it was only a matter of time, wasn't it? Absolutely no complaints can Scott Brown have here. A nothing area of the pitch. Totally needless.
No great surprise who should be on the receiving end after Scott Brown was sent off in the last Old Firm game for a clash with, yep, you guessed it, Kyle Lafferty, who hardly covered himself in glory in the same incident. But Brown really has to keep his head now, and it's a difficult night and a rather tricky game in which to do that. 2 yellow cards apiece. Wilson referred to Josh Thompson in the heart of the defence. Glenn Leuven's still sidelined.
He's done well, Mark Wilson. You know, he lost Kenny Miller for the goal. I think he could have been adjusting his position, being a little bit more aware of where Miller was going when the cross came in, but that part, he's done very little wrong tonight.
Edu clipped by Camara, free kick. This is only the second time this season that Rangers have conceded more than 1 goal in an SPL match. St Johnstone put 4 past them. Rangers seeking an equaliser again. Davis, Boris Edu nearly made contact.
Well, I think it's Mark Wilson who wins the first ball here, and he's really on the stretch. He gets very little on it, the Celtic centre-back. Always going wide, I think, but certainly had Boris moving his feet.
Camera. Hinkle. Straight to Smith. Thompson now for Naismith. Lee Naylor. The late challenge on Naismith. Kenny Miller. Could be in again. It's diverted for a corner.
Well, Kenny Miller at his very best. And there have been times this season Celtic have been a little bit too soft in the central area, and I think this is a decent example of it. That is too easy for Kenny Miller, much too easy. Outnumbered 2-1, and eventually Mark Wilson, really on the stretch, does just enough to deny him.
Artur Boruc is struggling for Celtic. More on that in a mo as Davis sends that in. The Rangers have already lost Alan McGregor, and Boruc has not looked too comfortable after taking that knock at the end of the first half.
Again, I think Celtic take a chance, allowing Lee McCulloch a run at the ball. It just clears Lee McCulloch, but at set pieces he's getting a free run and a free jump.
Well, how ironic is this? Alan McGregor stretched it off in the early stages of the game, and now Artur Boruc is having to go off as well. So we've got both backup goalkeepers on, and Lucas Zaluska will get a taste of this Old Firm experience.
The first thing you want to do is get the ball into his gloves and get a save under his belt. Neil Alexander didn't quite get that luxury.
Zaluska big pals with Boruc. They were together at Legia Warsaw. Evading Davis. Naylor for Robbie Keane. Keane confronted by McCulloch. McGeady sneaked it through to Keane, but David Weir saw that coming. Brown's cross. Alexander just about grabs that. So Alexander on for Rangers early in the game. early in the first half, and Zaluska now on for Celtic early in the second half. Magidi, camera, slips Robbie Keane in. No great power on it though.
Well, he was determined to take it with his right foot when he could have allowed it to go across his body and put his left foot through it. He's certainly onside, played onside by Lee McCulloch. Stephen Whittaker had just switched off, and Robbie Keane is much better than that.
Smith survives attention from Naylor. Odi, Fortune, Camera. It's a foul by Fortune on Naismith. Let's get some news on Artur Boruc then from David Tanner.
In confirmation that it's a bad night for both goalkeepers. Artur Boruc, we understand, has broken 2 fingers. It may have been in an earlier collision with Kenny Miller, but Artur Boruc has 2 fingers, and he, like Alan McGregor, has played his last game of the season here in the Old Firm, Damien.
Painful end to the season for both first choice Old Firm keepers. Lafferty. Miller.
Steve Davis off Kenny Miller now, Kyle Lafferty wide left. It's a shape that Walter Smith does use now and again. Not one that I think Kyle Lafferty particularly enjoys when he's stuck out on the left there, but certainly gets Steve Davis into a much more influential area of the pitch.
Brown. Edu. Oh, there's another yellow card coming out here for Hinkle, that's for sure.
Well, again, I mean, it hasn't been a difficult game for Callum Murray. Just about every one of the bookings has been totally justified.
Hinkle, the latest to go in that book. Pages of which are getting rather crowded now.
Well, he never got within playing distance of the ball there, Andrew Hinkle, but he realised Rangers had a decent break on. Cynical one. Maybe worth taking a yellow card for, because Morris Edu would have 1 or 2 options ahead of him had he been allowed to break forward.
They don't come much cruder than that. Davis. And it disappeared past Weir and Lafferty.
Really good ball in from Steve Davis. And he's disappointed that one of his teammates isn't winning that. No real conviction back post there from Kyle Lafferty. A little bit too high for Lee McCulloch.
Walter Smith has steered Rangers to their 9th title under his management, and it is 19th major honour at the club. Lee McCulloch then will send this towards Kyle Lafferty. Would have been a free kick if Celtic hadn't retained possession. Smith. Mugged by Camera. Naylor. Magidi. Quemo, heavy touch from Magidi. Whittaker plays it off Callum Murray. Whittaker.
Well, it's got to be better from Stephen Whittaker. If Rangers want to get the front players into the game, they have to be a little bit more precise.
Magidi. Thompson challenging Naylor. Thompson has to time every tackle right now. Away by McCullum. McGregor on crutches after he was stretchered off with possible medial ligament damage. And Celtic have since lost Artur Boruc as well. Half an hour left. Celtic still leading 2-1. Smith jumped to the head of the queue.
Cameron has done well, just finding little pockets of space, dropping off the front at times, tucking in, at times playing between Rangers midfield and the back line. He's had a bit of joy doing that.
Davis moves away from Brown. Miller making moves ahead of him. It's Morris Edu.
Wrong choice, had Kenny Miller screaming for it inside right channel, never saw him. Rangers at last getting numbers up the pitch.
Wilson almost in bother, but fouled by Miller on him.
Just seemed to misjudge the flight of the ball there, Mark Wilson. It's another partnership that's hardly tried and tested, this defensive pairing for Celtic tonight.
It's been a shambolic season for Celtic Football Club, really. They need to end it with a victory over their fiercest rivals. Miller. Miller wanted a free kick.
I think he had a decent case as well. Again, he had the strength to roll Mark Wilson.
Forced into a corner by Fortuné, but he gets the throw. Davis, Edu, Camera. Wilson. Darren O'Dea, who scored in the League Cup final against Rangers last season. McGeady, Davis, Miller. He'll need help from Lafferty. And Kenny Miller, and it's a free kick.
He did very little wrong there, Kenny Miller. You're expecting him to contest that. He did look wrong side. He's saying it was shoulder to shoulder. Callum Murray had no doubts that it's a free kick. And from that angle, it certainly looked like one. Kenny Miller certainly has a physical presence about him tonight to mess that Celtic defensive pairing around.
Kenny Miller notching his 21st goal of the season this evening. Keane, McGeady, Naylor. Robbie Keane. Smith made a mess of his clearance. Fortuné turned into Thompson. Handball anyway.
Yeah, I think it popped up onto his left arm there. He reckons not. Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe off the chest more than the arm.
Miller rising with Wilson. Here's Davis. Whittaker. Stephen Whittaker, Morris Edu, his own man, got in his way. And Whittaker raging. The Rangers could be exposed here. Fortune with Cameron and Keane in the middle. Fortune went for glory.
Over-ambitious. Very small target from this angle. And he had support there. If he tries to square this across the 6-yard box, he has decent support.
Fortune's 12th goal for Celtic has kept them in the lead with 25 minutes left in this latest Old Firm showdown. Camera. Smith. McCulloch's onto it. Still no Maggi Bugera for this one. He's actually missed 3 of the 4 Old Firm games this season with a calf injury. Scott Brown. Davis. Whittaker. Skipped away from McGeady. Oh, what a cross! And it came off Hinkle, did it?
Oh, it's a terrific ball in from Whittaker, and it's a horrible one for Andy Hinkle to defend back post. The ball is on the up here as he has to deal with it. Really awkward one, defenders facing their own goal. Kenny Miller, I think, who got the final touch.
He did, because it's a goal kick. There's Dennis watching here tonight, appearing in local theatre in Hairspray. The Old Firm's still the best show in town, though. Stephen Whittaker. It's a bit hopeful, but Lafferty does get there. Just. Thompson. Davis. Robbie Keane snapping and snarling. Culloch for Whittaker. Miller. Edu. Kenny Miller.
Terrific chance, terrific chance. Once again he gets half a yard to Mark Wilson. Look at Kenny Miller's movement here as he knocks it down. He's already on his way. And on the full volley, Kenny Miller will feel he should be working Zaluska there. His movement tonight really has been different class, Kenny Miller. Thankless task, often up there on his own. But he has had a right good evening.
Well, his previous Old Firm goals for Rangers have come in doubles. Scored twice inside the first 16 minutes in the first Old Firm game of this season, and a double here last season in a 4-2 win. A memorable win at that for Rangers.
Equal attempts, but accurate story there. Rangers just one on target.
Naismith, and what a touch from Mark Wilson to turn that away from Miller. Brown. Rangers nearly snatched an equaliser then. Wilson with a telling touch. High into the sky from OD. Keane grappling with Whittaker. Keane's away. Outside of the boot. Fortune. Shadowed by Smith.
I wonder if he could have gone and attacked it. Fortune looked a decent height for him as it kicked up back post. Decided to allow it across his body there. He's taken a knock in the process out at the corner.
Minutes left. Corner Celtic.
This at the other end of the pitch, and Rangers starting to make better angles in the wide area to get crosses in. And Kenny Miller, you think, is scoring there, but for that interception from Mark Wilson.
Another corner then from Lee Naylor. And Scott Brown headed over.
Well, Lee McCulloch saying I'm left completely exposed at the back post. 2 against 1 at the back post here. He doing just enough to put Scott Brown off. He'll look favourite to score there. Lennon can't quite believe he didn't.
Celtic are going to bring on Georgios Samaras soon. Hinkle. Lafferty. Guemo. Challenged by Edu. Davis. Whipped off his toes by Nguemo. Naylor. McCulloch strong. Davis. Naismith. Kevin Thompson. Fortune is struggling a bit, and it may well be him who will be replaced. Here's Fortune, who is not moving too well. McGeady. Fortune. Lafferty. Thompson. Miller.
Oh, again he wins it.
Darren has to deal with this, and Julie does. Naismith. Whittaker now for Edu. Weir. Davis. Miller. Saluska with a comfortable save.
It's a terrific first touch from Kenny Miller, because as he takes it and he gets himself turned as well. Just creates this shooting chance so quickly for himself here.
Throws being given to Rangers, and Neil Lennon's going absolutely mad. Fortune comes off then. His goal proving decisive at the moment. He's replaced by Georgios Samaras, who's been very short of goals lately. He's only ever scored once in all firm games. Nacho Nova will be next on for Rangers. He'll get a great reception here, no doubt. Davis. He's picked out Lafferty. Edu. Wilson intervenes again.
Oh, given away.
Miller.
It's not pretty at the moment, is it?
It's a right old scrap.
wonder who's going to come off for Rangers. You'd imagine either Lafferty or Naismith, one of the two wide players, but
Samaras shoving Lafferty to the ground. Here he comes. He has a hate-hate relationship with the Celtic fans. Nacho Novo, 6 Old Firm goals. Novo is going to replace Kyle Lafferty, we hear. Quarter of an hour left. McGeady. Tripped by Naismith and a yellow card for him now.
well, it's completely accidental. Aidan McGeady's very clever here. He just gets across the front of the Rangers midfielder. There's absolutely no intent in that. Good direct wide play from Aidan McGeady though.
That is the softest yellow card of the night by a distance.
Yeah.
3-3 on bookings now. Naylor's free kick, screened by Edu. Camara will be first to it though, and he will use Nguema. Naylor to try again. Alexander unable to get a grip. Nguema.
In the nice angle there, just a little bit too heavy. I'd say that Alexander hasn't looked assured on crosses tonight. Once again struggling to take it back post as Nacho Novo. He's about to make his entrance.
Rangers fans with so much to boo. Kyle Lafferty going off. In comes Nacho Novo, who never fails to wind up the Celtic fans one way or another. Naylor injured.
They've got a ready-made replacement in Brathwaite, haven't they? Making no attempt to get up here, Lee Naylor. It's as if his game's over as well.
That's a Brathwaite, who could well be in the Dutch World Cup squad. He's a natural replacement. Well, he's put some decent deliveries in today, Lee Naylor.
Yeah, he has. We've seen decent delivery from the wide area from both sides tonight, particularly in the second half from Rangers. Some very good defending from Mark Wilson in particular has kept Celtic ahead.
Lee Naylor's game is up though. And on comes Edson Brathwaite, who's on loan from Bayern Munich. He joined Bayern Munich last year. He was previously with Steve McLaren's FC20. Brathwaite hasn't figured too often since Neil Lennon took charge. Lennon preferring to go with his former teammate Naylor most of the time. Samaras. All the goals came in the first half. That's poor.
Well, it's poor from the experienced player in at this stage in the game. The cross-field pass is the one you want to avoid.
Nacho Novo won it back typically. Now Davis. That was deflected and Zaluska reacted superbly.
Oh, he certainly did. The deflection was enough to Fox Neil Alexander, and almost enough here to beat the Celtic goalkeeper. Dan Ladie, preoccupied with the run from Kenny Miller, doesn't get out to the ball, and that's a very decent save.
Davis with the corner. Samaras away from Naismith. Keane. Samaras chasing, Whittaker across. Naismith. For Nacho Novo. That Wilson can bring it away, and the Celtic fans rather pleased that Novo fell to the floor. Brathwaite on for Naylor. Became a slight touch from Whittaker.
Yeah, very slight, you'd have to say.
Became barely needed much encouragement then to go down.
Neither Bernardine nor Mark Wilson going forward. Locking the back door is a priority now for Celtic.
Into the last 10 minutes. Brathwaite's cross. Away by McCulloch. Guemo for Samaras. What was that? Pass to Nagidi, that's what it was. Nagidi for Nguemo. Samaras. Can he get his shot away? He can.
It's a fraction out. He did really well to lose David Weir. I think he did well to pick out Nguemo, but Samaras, a couple of yards on David Weir.
By Naismith, here's Brathwaite. Samaras. Robbie Keane's chasing this, but Neil Alexander first out to it.
I think Robbie Keane realised that the spin in the ball was going to keep it in play there. That's why he went to press Neil Alexander.
Keane. Met by McCulloch. Camera. Whittaker took it away from Nagidi. Brathwaite's throw. Offside. With more action from the SPL tomorrow night, Motherwell and Hibs chasing a Europa League place. 7:30 Sky Sports HD 3 and 3. Same channel on Saturday at noon for a potential survival showdown between Kilmarnock and Falkirk.
Tired play from Liam McCulloch. Just prior to that, notice Kenny Miller just saying to the midfield players, try and get a little bit closer to me. I think Rangers have to try and take their chances, close the game up. We know they don't have a lot of pace at the back, but they've really got to try and squeeze the game up and get that midfield closer to Kenny Miller.
I presume Samaras just caught Whittaker then, not much in it. Wilson's header, Weir's header, Naismith's header. Free kick, Rangers. Davis. Miller pounces upon it. Nacho Novo. Kenny Miller against the post incredibly.
Oh, quite unbelievable. Rangers looking for handball. I don't think Callum Murray could have spotted this because he wouldn't have allowed an advantage. Well, I'll tell you what, Darnadee's left arm is away from his body. Seen them given for that. How much Callum Murray saw of it, I'm not quite sure. If he did get a decent view, I'm sure he'd have given him.
David Weir almost on the end of that. Davis. Naismith. Here's Weir. Can the champions save the day in Glasgow's East End? By Naismith. Hinkle down to Zaluska.
Well, Zaluska obviously gave him a call there to leave that completely. Danger for the goalkeeper, and you know, if he commits himself, he can end up looking very stupid there.
McCulloch. Rangers are heading for their biggest winning margin since they finished 21 points clear of Celtic a decade ago. They won their last 3 times, was on the final day of the season, but they did the job with time to spare this time around. Nguemo, Brown, camera, Hinkle now. Hinkle's cross, David Weir taking no chances, Celtic have a corner.
A terrific cross from Hinkle. David Weir knew that Alexander was coming, but quite happy to deal with it.
Celtic in no rush. Edson Brathwaite taking an age to walk all the way across the field. Brathwaite's corner. Alexander not too convincing again.
No, he's flapped a few times.
Miller typically tearing towards Zaluska. Samaras. Rangers continue their pursuit of an equaliser. McCulloch up towards Edu. Away by Wilson. And Thompson colliding with Brathwaite. Samaras in space and plenty of it. Brathwaite. Celtic with a few minutes to negotiate, hoping to hang on for their first Old Firm win of the season. Either to hang on or to properly clinch it. McGeady. Samaras let it go, but David Weir poked it away. Novo. Report from Davis.
Yeah, I think it's the first time he's wasted it tonight, Stephen Davis.
The SPL champions heading for only their 3rd defeat in the league this season. Unless they are planning on leaving it very late. Third goal for Celtic looking more likely at the moment. Hinkle. Brown. McGeady. Blocked by Whittaker. McGeady tries again.
I think Neil Alexander knows that's finishing high. He's going to score there in McGeady. I think he has to find the top right-hand corner. Shifted it very quickly to make the space. More than decent effort.
Into the last minute of the 90. Second half hasn't quite matched the excitement of the first. Always watchable though when these two meet. champions have the last word yet. Samaras feeding McGeady. Guemo. Dismay won't be too perturbed. Rangers have the big prize this season, the SPL title, and they will be presented with the trophy after their match against Motherwell at Ibrox on Sunday. McGeady, Lee McCulloch's going to be off here. Second yellow equals red, and we did get a red card right at the end.
But again, Callum Murray, I don't think is a choice here. I think he felt that Aidan McGeady felt Whittaker initially. Well, I'll tell you what, from that angle there's very little contact there. Looked as if he had caught Aidan McGeady. There's practically no contact at all.
Kenny Miller reacting furiously to Callum Murray's decision to show a second yellow card to Lee McCulloch, and it all threatened to kick off a bit then. Three minutes of stoppage time, by the way, amid this madness. Kenny Miller's going to get a yellow card for his show of dissent.
Lee McCulloch challenge. Well, there's nothing in that for me, absolutely nothing in it. Aidan McGeady's gone down looking for it.
Kenny Miller had plenty to say about it and received a yellow card as well. Celtic almost there, almost claiming a victory over their rivals. Darren O'Dea was also booked, by the way, in that melee after McCulloch's red card. Rangers can't break out. Celtic seeing it through quite nicely in stoppage time. O'Dea, Samaras, Inco, Samaras heading for the corner. Maybe one last chance here for Rangers.
That's clever play from Samaras.
It's a corner.
Worst he was going to get was a corner if he tries to go on the outside there. No reason to put this in the box either for Celtic.
Well, there won't be one last chance for Rangers by the look of it. 9 red cards in the last 11 Old Firm games. Par for the course, really. Hinkle. It's over. Neil Lennon wins his first game as a manager, first Old Firm game. We'll be hoping it's not his last, that's for sure. Time will tell. All the goals came in the first half. Celtic were certainly hungry tonight, but then they had to be. There was absolutely no other option after the season they've had. A wretched season, an awful season really, but something to smile about tonight at least, on a night when both sub-goalkeepers were called upon. Rangers weren't level for long. Marc-Antoine Fortunet's goal proved decisive. David Weir diverting Lee Naylor's free kick in for the opener. Kenny Miller equalised. Trust him to score an Old Firm goal. This night may belong to Celtic, but this season belongs to Rangers. They are the SPL champions again. Their first back-to-back titles for a decade. But Neil Lennon got what he asked for tonight, and he got what he wanted. It remains to be seen whether he'll be back for a bit more of the Old Firm experience as Celtic manager next season. Certainly can't argue with his record in the SPL. He's won 7 out of 7. And if he wins at Hearts on Sunday, that would equal Martin O'Neill's start as a Celtic manager in the SPL. He's deserved a little breather after another incident-packed Old Firm game. Celtic now have a decision to make about whether he gets the job as manager. In a season to forget, a night to remember, Celtic have got one over their Old Firm rivals at last, but it took them until the last meeting of the season. And it'll be a rather hollow journey round this pitch now from the Celtic fans to acknowledge their supporters. Rangers fans, well, they'll let Celtic have this one. The champions beaten, but Celtic have much to do to sort themselves out for next season. It finishes on this night, Celtic 2, Rangers 1.
And not often in the Old Firm when there's an outright winner, both sets of fans are on their feet at the end, applauding what they've seen. Great second half, and Celtic won it. And there it is. Rangers, we knew they were champions before tonight, but Neil Lennon so wanted 3 points from this match. And they've made a statement, Celtic, and they've won tonight here at Celtic Park in this, the last Old Firm game of the season. Now,